Hey y'all, this is Jerry. Thank you for joining me. What I'm going to do today is do a project share with you. I made an album in December that was from a base that I had created in November prior to the vendor market, and I had to set it aside because I got so busy. So one of my goals in December was to finish this album. And you can see that it is a neutral color. It is vintage. And this is a digital paper that I got from Etsy. And I'm going to put that link down below. As soon as I saw it, I was just inspired. I love the graphics on this. And you'll see throughout the scrapbook album, the different designs and graphics. And with it, I paired, I don't know if you can see it, a glitter paper that is brown I got from Hobby Lobby, but it kind of gives that brown copper feeling, and I thought it went so well with this graphics on this paper, this digital paper that I printed. And this just says Sweet Baby. This can be a gender neutral. It doesn't have traditional gender colors. So what I did was paired it with some oranges and greens and some goldenrod or marigold color in here. And you can see I've just got some vintage looking florals on the front. This album is 6x8 and it has a 2 or 2.5 inch spine on it. And then we have the little baby bears on here. And then here you see the hot air balloons and florals. I did close this album with a antique gold seam binding that I get from my scrap cabin. And I'll put their link down below in case you're interested in getting the seam binding. I use it because it doesn't unravel, doesn't fray like ribbon, and it holds everything nice and securely. So let me open up and share what I did inside with you. So here is the inside cover. I love this graphic on this paper, and you can see how it is a neutral color, doesn't have traditional gender colors in it. I use magnets on a lot of the interactive closures in here, and I've indicated that most often with this little matching ribbon that I used, or seam binding that I used on the album itself. So this and this is magnetized. And I put gussets on a lot of my interactive elements in here. There's a 1/4 inch here, so that gives room underneath to bulk up with photos. And this page won't bow because I've added this gusset to it. And that helps it to be able to build up underneath and have room to grow. So here in this front, we'll go ahead and open up. And you can see I have a pocket. I have 3 pockets in this scrapbook album. There's one on this inside cover, one on the back inside cover, and then one inside. These are horizontal pockets, but I do have a long vertical pocket, and I'll show you that in a minute. Aren't these cute little baby bears? And this says baby. And you can see that I've used orange and gold, different colors of taupe and tan. And I just think this album turned out cute. So here we have a journaling card. It has a baby bottle and passy along with the flowers. And then this says cute as a button, this little onesie. You can see that the digital paper came with some fussy cuts and some cut-aparts, as well as the graphic design paper. This is a little booklet that I created for photos or journaling, and I have that living just in here. And as I say, that's a magnet closure. And then here it says, hello, baby, little rocky horse. And this opens, and you can put photos and have journaling in here as well. That's magnetized to hold that closed. You can see here is a little gusset to let this area grow from underneath upward. And then here we have the onesies hanging out on the clothesline. Very vintage. I remember when my mom used to do that back in the day before we had dryers. And this opens up this way. And then this flips up. And you can see here, lots of space. This book can hold up to 5x7s. So this closes down and then this opens up again. So you can see this nice real estate for putting a collage of photos, of journaling. I didn't put a pocket here because I wanted Mama to have lots of space to put baby pictures. So this folds in, and then this goes, and then you've got your magnet closure there to help those stay secure. This also is a magnet closure. This just flips up and down, and look at that, those graphics. I love this paper. And this says baby. So we just fold this up. And then here I have a gatefold. I've chosen to use a seam binding, the seam binding with this to open up and keep it secure, instead of using a magnet, because then you have to use a couple of magnets or maybe even 4 sets. So I like to, on these elements, I like to use the seam binding in here. And as I said, this doesn't fray like a ribbon does. It stays nice, and it can fray slightly, but it just doesn't unravel as bad as when you have a ribbon. Okay, so this says little one. This is magnetized. And you can see here, we've got the graphic. This, you could even put a photo here or journaling notes on here. It will not interfere with the magnet. These magnets are pretty strong. And here, these flaps just fold open to have 2 pictures. And this is our vertical pocket. And in here, I have included a couple of journaling cards or photo mats. This says little one. And I've got that copper paper down here and some of the embellishments that live in pockets. So that's a nice big photo mat. So that folds down. And then that snaps closed. And you can see that I put a gusset there since that's a pocket, so that has room to grow from underneath. I did leave this plain, so you could just put a nice photo here. Since I had this on this side and these here, I wanted some space so that these pages wouldn't get too thick and the album itself start bowing out. Here we've got a Rocky Horse image, and I've put it with that copper brown glitter paper, and you can see that it alternates some shades of tan. This isn't white, it just has a hint of color to it, so it doesn't look too stark against the taupes and the tans in this paper. So you can see that this just flips up, and this is a lot. This is a big waterfall. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here on this side, and then 9 on this side, or 10. So this can hold a ton of pictures just in this element, this waterfall element here. So I like the way that turned out. Let me get this tied back up. And then we have our last page. This says Bundle of Joy. And we can see their little bunny rabbit is here with baby bear, or maybe this is mom and daddy. That flips up. This is magnetized. And this is a little booklet that has alternating pages. And you can see here we have these images. Then we go this way and this way. And then we have the shoes with the little flowers with it. And you don't have to alternate. You can just put those pages down, and that I just alternate just because it's cute. But as long as this is the top, because this has our magnet here. And I did put a gusset on this top edge too, so that this can find its magnet even if it bulks up underneath. And then similar to the front page, I used the coordinating paper or the same paper on this. And this flips up to reveal a pocket. And in here, I've put a tag that can be a journaling space in this area. And then I created like a little wallet. It can be both horizontal or vertical, depending on the photos. You could put a title here. And this is magnetized, and it just opens up. And then here's a small little pocket here. And I've placed a cute little tag inside that can be a little title or journaling note. And then this says sweet little one for the cut apart that's been matted for a photo or journaling. And then that just lives in here. As I said, this is magnetized. And then this closes, and you can see we've got our little baby bear on the back. So that is the baby album I created. This is going to be in my Etsy store. So I have a link to in the description if you're interested. I appreciate you joining me today. And subscribe if you want to see more project shares. I've already set my goals for January. I have a short on that. I'll link that down below if you want to see what's coming up in January. I have lots more ideas too. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.